Firehouse Subs, Hook and Ladder jingle, take one.
Hook and ladder, when it's hot, it just tastes better. Warm that smoky turkey, that thin slice honey.
Guys, this is a 30-second ad. You gotta sing faster.
Hook and ladder, when it's hot, it just
Faster.
tastes better. Melty cheese and toast spread, mustard, mayo, purple spread, lettuce, green, and onion. The sandwich is too big for the song. It's too big.
The Hook and Ladder, available only at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants.
Welcome to the Two-Footed Extra Pod. This is our quick hit show where I'll unpack the latest news and gossip, plus rumours in the world of football. This show was brought to you by our friends over at Liberty Shield. Did you know that Liberty Shield's VPN service not only keeps your data safe, but can also help you bypass government blocks on IPTV streaming? When connected to Liberty Shield, your internet activity is encrypted, meaning your ISP can't see or block those crucial live football streams when you sit down to watch. It genuinely is the ultimate solution for staying connected and never missing a match. Right now, you can save 25% by using the code EPL25OFF. That's EPL25OFF at checkout. All caps, no spaces. Oh, and one more thing. For more in-depth analysis on the biggest talking points from around the world of football, don't miss my main show, the Two-Footed Podcast, with new episodes dropping every single weekday. And if you want more from EPL Index, don't forget our Tad Predictable preview show or the Final Whistle review show recorded immediately after the big Sunday match. Now, let's crack on. What's good, boys and girls? Two-Footed Extra on Monday, September 16th. Hope you're all well. We begin, though, on a sad note, and that is that Gary Shaw has passed away today. Gary Shaw was part of the legendary Aston Villa team that won the league title and European Cup in the early 80s. That league title win coming in 81, the European Cup being won in 82. And at that time, he was seen as one of the brightest young talents in English football. He was voted PFA Young Player of the Year in 1981. He won the Bravo Award for the most outstanding young footballer in Europe in 82. He was named the PFA Team of the Year in 1981 as well, alongside the likes of Peter Shilton, Kenny Sampson, John Ward, Graham Souness, Paul Mariner, Kenny Dalglish. So in fine company there. Sustained a very serious knee injury in the 83-84 season and was never really the same again. And he ended up leaving Villa at the age of 27. He went to Denmark. He played in Austria. He played for Walsall, Kilmarnock and Shrewsbury Town, but he was never the same player after that knee injury. He'd won 7 under-21 caps, was seen as an absolute banker that he would become an international regular, but did not make the 1982 World Cup squad despite being included in the preliminary squad, and then was never called up after the knee injury, which, you know, was just such a shame for him. He suffered a fall on the 9th of this month, a week ago today, in his home in Birmingham, and was admitted to hospital in a serious condition. There were reports yesterday that he'd passed away. His family issued a statement to say that that wasn't the case, but that he was in a grave and serious situation, and he's passed away today at the age of just 63, which is, you know, very, very young. A Villa legend, a vital part of their, I suppose, the best couple of years in their history. You know, winning the European Cup. It's the pinnacle of club football, and he was vital to that Villa team. He was the number 9 in that team, and his goals were absolutely vital to them. Didn't score on the final. The Villa goal in that game came from Peter White. But he was very, very good in that game. I have seen that game. He was very good. and caused Klaus Augenthaler, who was one of the best centre-backs in the world at the time, a lot of problems. So a shame the way his career played out ultimately, but a bigger shame that he has passed away at the age of just 63. More bad news, I'm afraid. Johan Wissa is set to miss a couple of months after sustaining an ankle injury in Brentford's 2-1 defeat to Man City. He limped off after a tackle by Mateo Kovacic. He'd scored, obviously, in the game, and I think Brentford were going to be relying on him heavily this season with Ivan Toney gone and Igor Thiago having the meniscus injury. I think they were going to be heavily reliant on Wissa. They'd obviously turned down a sizable bid for him in the summer as well from Nottingham Forest. He's been, I think, certainly the best signing they've made since promotion. He had 3 goals in 4 Premier League games already this season after 12 last year and 7 in each of the first 2 seasons he was with Brentford. And that's a big blow for them now. They're going to need Kevin Shade and Keane Lewis-Potter to step up and provide the goals that they're going to need. More bad news, I'm afraid. Wales and Chelsea midfielder Sophie Ingle faces an extended stay on the sidelines after suffering a serious knee injury as she's been diagnosed with a torn ACL. And obviously in recent years, we have seen a massive spike in the number of ACL injuries in the women's game. There's a multitude of potential solutions that have been put out there. Whether any of them are actually real or not, I don't know. Whether they're feasible or not, I don't know. I suggest that maybe a slightly smaller pitch, slightly smaller goals might make the women's game a bit better, a bit easier for them. Because, you know, they're not as big and not as physical as the men, so maybe having the pitch be that much smaller, more of the quality will shine through, because there's an awful lot of quality in the women's game. And one prime example of that is Aitana Bonmati, who is the Spain and Barcelona legend, who has signed a contract extension to keep her with Barcelona until 2028. Obviously, the Ballon d'Or winner in 2023 scored the opening goal in the Champions League final last year as Barcelona beats Lyon by 2-0. All the top clubs seemed interested in her. Lyon, Chelsea, Arsenal and others all credited with interest, but she has committed her long-term future to Barcelona, where she is already the all-time top scorer. We have Troy Deeney's Team of the Week, which is generally bad news because it's generally awful. So let's have a look at it. Robert Sanchez is his pick in goal. I think that's fair enough. I did think Sanchez made some big saves. Tuanzebe, I would say absolutely not. De Ligt, he scored. That's why he's in. Gabriel, I don't have any issue with. Not only did he score, but he defended very well. There's just no logical reason for Jean-Paul Van Hecke to be in the team. Just no logical reason at all. In midfield, Caicedo was outstanding for Chelsea, so that's fair. Baliba was tremendous for Brighton, that's fair. But Smith Rowe got an assist. Didn't do a whole lot else, really, I didn't think. Ollie Watkins got 2, Haaland got 2, and Mateta got 2, and that's where they're the front 3. I will take significant umbrage with Tuanzebe, De Ligt, and Van Hecke. None of them should be in the team. What logic has he given? Tuanzebe, he dealt well with Kaoru Mitoma. Did he? Or did Mitoma just fluff his lines? Yeah, I think Mitoma just fluffed his lines over and over again. Matthias de Ligt, he struggled at the start, got found in a one-on-one situation with Kyle Walker-Peters and got sent to the shops, but his goal sent United on their way. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't particularly good defensively, so I'm not sure why he's in the team. Gabriel, like I said, no issue at all. I mean, he was just outstanding. And Van Hecke, he's wonderful on the ball. Wonderful on the ball. I think he'll be the one they end up selling next year to someone like Liverpool. I mean, No, absolutely not. Absolutely not the case at all. He's not wonderful in the ball, nor does he look like the type of player who's going to play for Liverpool. And you know why I know Troy Deeney's full of shit? Because he says here, he's naturally left-footed and never looks flustered. No, he's not. He's right-footed. And he regularly looks flustered. So this is just complete and utter nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense from Troy Deeney, who is a fool. I'll be back after the break with the gossip. See you in a sec. Right, welcome back. So we've got 2 days worth of gossip to get into. We'll do Sunday and Mondays. We won't do Saturdays because it's just too outdated at this point. Real Madrid will send a scout to Sunday's North London derby as they consider moves for William Saliba and Christian Romero. I just don't see why they would do that. I mean, I could see why they would want either or both of those centre-backs. Just not sure that they'd send a scout to the North London derby. It's not the type of game you generally assess a player in. I also don't think they should need to scout these players at this point. Chelsea's 20-year-old England under-20 midfielder, Carney Chukwuemeka, is among AC Milan's targets for January. Well, Milan have shopped at Chelsea on multiple occasions. There will be players that he will know. I believe himself and Loftus-Cheek were there together. I think him and Pulisic would have been there together as well. Would he have been there at the same time as Fikayo Tomori? I don't think so. But it is quite the little ex-Chelsea enclave going on, because you've also got Tammy Abraham now at AC Milan. Real Madrid are closing in on a deal to sign Alphonso Davies on a free transfer, with the Canadian international able to sign a pre-contract from January. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously that's a very likely deal. Liverpool are scouting Loic Bade as they consider replacements for Virgil van Dijk. Highly unlikely. Andrew Walker, I'm going to put you in a basket that I call the spoofer basket. Chelsea might return for Victor Osimhen in January. Don't think they will. Barcelona rejected an offer of 210 million for Lamine Yamal from PSG, according to Andy Barra. Andy Barra is the agent of Dani Olmo. He's unlikely to know whether or not Barcelona will make such an offer. Sean Dyche will monitor Nick Pope in the coming months as a potential replacement for Jordan Pickford. Well, where's Pickford going to go? Also, not sure why Nick Pope would want to go to Everton from Newcastle. Potential Champions League, potential relegation, just doesn't seem likely. West Ham are continuing to work on a deal for Joel Matip. Adrian Rabiot's mother and agent says the midfielder will not be returning to Juventus. I think Juventus made that clear months ago that he would not be returning, and largely because of you. Arsenal scouts have been keeping tabs on Javi Guerra. A very good young player, very possible, that's true, but I wouldn't put much trust in Peter O'Rourke. Right, that was Sunday into Monday. Bayern Munich are intensifying talks with Jamal Musiala. I'm not sure what that means. Are they now shouting at him to sign a new contract? His current deal runs until 2026. Newcastle are tracking Leroy Sané, who's had a contract at the end of the season. As I said the other day, I'm not really sure I like that deal. I mean, on a free, on the ballsman, sure. But Leroy Sané is going to want colossal money, given he's on somewhere in the region of €450,000 a week at Bayern. And on a free, I'd imagine he's going to want some significant cash. AC Milan, Inter Milan and Napoli are all interested in signing Samuel Ricci from Torino. He's a very good player, absolutely ready for a move to one of the top clubs. Bayern Munich Director of Football Max Eberl has defended the sale of Matthias de Ligt, saying the club's current centre-backs are more capable of defending higher up the pitch. I don't know why he's needed to defend that. De Ligt was poor at Bayern. Eberl didn't sign him. He didn't suit how they wanted to play. Now, I will say there's no world in which Eric Dyer is more comfortable higher up the field than De Ligt, but You don't need to defend that. You just say, it didn't work out here, we decided to move on. John Texter wants Jay-Z to join his bid to buy Everton. That sounds like pie in the sky stuff to me. Joshua Kimmich is open to renewing his deal with Bayern Munich, I'd imagine so. Real Madrid's Dani Carvajal has been told he will only be offered a 1-year deal. That's standard for Real. When a player gets to a certain point, they'll only offer it 1 year at a time, but I don't see any reason for him not to take it and stay. You know, he's got a couple of years left in his legs, I'd say, and then he can go to Saudi Arabia like Nacho did this past summer. Inter Milan want to try to line up the free transfer signing of Jonathan David. But he is currently in negotiations to extend his contract with Lille, but we'll see what happens. Liverpool are unlikely to move for Loic Bade, I would imagine so. Mikel Antonio and Danny Ings could both leave West Ham before their respective deals expire next summer, so both could be sold in January is what we're saying here. Unlikely. I think they'll just both wait, because why would they? Manchester United were turned down in their approach to sign Mikael Faye before he joined Rennes. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know, but it is possible that's true, because United maybe weren't willing to do the buyback clause that Barcelona wanted. Barcelona say they want to keep Ansu Fati despite him not playing a league game for the club since August of 2023 when he was on loan last season, so how would he have played for them? And that just seems like nonsense. Right, folks, that's me for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.